not have a picture. Wait, there it is. We have a picture now. All better.
Good.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
We have nobody. Wait, that's not true. Bloom is here, and Moonlight's here, and Bethany's here.
Hello.
And the legendary Suitcase says hello. That's a name.
I am honored.
Velocichungus is here. Yes, that was the end of Mr. Clock. He was 5 minutes slow, so we had to fix that. Hey, Nixie is here.
Hello, Misty.
Saroja says good morning.
How is everybody doing? Can you guys see this okay?
Lots of hellos. We can see it just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, how's everybody doing today?
So as you guys can
Tell us a
see,
story.
I got 4 more characters done over the weekend. I've been trying to do 2 a day.
He has been. He's been doing all right. He's been doing all right. Mark says, I smell a fixed wheel.
Yes.
Good eyes. Hitomi says, good morning. The inking is looking great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so this wheel, by the way, it was glued on. I did it on another piece of paper, and I glued it on with Elmer's glue.
Elmer's glue. Isn't that like kid glue?
Yeah.
How fitting for you, my dearest. How did you fix the wheel?
Yeah, I will, obviously there'll be a video at some point, but yeah, so I did it on another piece of paper. As you can see, I kind of traced the wheel the way it was, and then I just did it on another piece of paper, and then I glued it. And then this, I used white gouache to redo that, and then a little white gouache to redo that. Though Logan says he still doesn't like that front wheel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of like little designs of other wheels I could be doing, but I said they still kind of look like the wheels on a shopping cart. Like I wanted to be something a little different.
Has anyone told you you're as positive as Ned Flanders?
Well, Heidi ho. No one's ever said that to me. Thank you.
Steph Nerd says good morning. Gail says good morning. Are you planning on having character sheets for each person in the guild?
That would be really kind of fun. So I would like to have us come up with stories for each of the characters. Their race, their class, etc., etc. I think that would be really fun. But I kind of wanted to do that collaboratively.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's a character sheet?
Like when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll and you have your intelligence, your dexterity, your charisma, all of that stuff.
And then you write all those down in the little boxes.
Yeah, and those,
gotcha. Okay.
That's who your character is, and
okay. That's a character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Salt Lake City Cosplay Mom says, I have been doing a lot of art.
Oh, that's great.
Good for you. Steph Nerd. Did I say Steph Nerd's here? Steph is here.
Hey, Steph Nerd.
Hello, everyone. How are you, Scott and Donna? That is Sally the Demon Child.
Oh, we're doing good.
Well, clearly I'm not having as much fun as you, because Demon Child sounds like you're having fun there. Especially on a Monday. Tell us your secret to that amazing beard of yours.
Me?
Lonely Macaroni is... Well, I don't have a beard, so obviously it's you.
I didn't know if you were talking to Demon Child or something.
Nope.
I don't have a... My beard is nothing special, if you ask me.
I think it's sexy.
But the secret is being half Middle Eastern and half Sicilian, I think.
Yeah, he's always been able to grow a 5 o'clock shadow by noon, and that's when he shaves at 8. Feo says, hi, Scott. It looks great. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Good morning. I hope you're both having a good day. I've started looking into taking some figure drawing classes nearby. That's Leon.
Oh,
great.
That's great.
How exciting. Good for you. You know what I was going to tell you? I saw online that Tim has been taking He's doing figure drawing. Well, actually, he was painting in oils at this figure drawing class that he was in.
Yeah.
And that might be fun for you.
He's invited me many times. The problem is that it's usually like 3 o'clock on a Friday or something like that in Nashville.
So
it's a long way to go during rush hour traffic, and then you got people.
Yeah, I get that. Well, if you ever want to go, I could bring a book and drive you.
Thank you.
I have a stack of books next to the bed waiting for me. Kieran Mai says, I have been watching you guys for 2 years. It's been a wonderful roller coaster, and I wanted to thank you for practically raising me.
Well, thank you.
Well, gosh.
We're very proud of the person that you've become.
We are. And how sad that I don't get to hug you. If I'm raising you, I should at least get to hug you, right? Then Kieran Mai also wants to ask, what advice do you have for younger artists?
Draw everything every day. Mm-hmm. There is a video on that. But obviously, do what you love and stop worrying about trying to make art perfect.
Did you bring the shorts back?
I did. I had no idea that so many of you were re-watching the shorts. I didn't know.
Yeah. He didn't know. Joshua says, I'm so amazed by how you do all of this. I can't wait to become a successful artist like you.
Thank you. I just so you know, I think that my inking and my drawing skills are very, very bad compared to the people that I, grew up respecting and loving. And I think there's just that feeling of we're never good enough. But the one thing that has really helped me was just learning to let go and just make the art. I don't have to love every piece, and I can look at my art as part of a journey and not like, well, I'm not good enough, time to give up. And that is been really helpful, because normally I would not even be able to take that compliment.
Mm-hmm. He wouldn't.
And I think we just need to be kinder to ourselves. So thank you.
We were just talking about that on Friday after the live, because you did not like the wheel on the wheelchair. And you made a point of saying to me, at one point I would have beaten myself up for this, especially doing it on a live. But now I know if I decide that I want to change it or fix it, I just take a breath and I go, okay, I'll just fix it later.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
That largely is because I have had so many mistakes I've made, so that I've known now how to fix the mistakes. And I think that's the thing is that I am now confident in my ability to fix something if I don't like it.
Yeah. Guys, right now he's working on the guild, and there are plans swimming around in the back of his head, but nothing concrete. This is going to take quite a few weeks to finish. So for right now, this is what we're doing. Let's see. I love how you are open about making and fixing mistakes. I go months sometimes without being creative because of the fear and pain from messing up.
Yeah, it's the thing that you really have to tell yourself is it is just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. If you mess up absolutely horribly, you throw it away and you start again. And then there's people who are like, well, I don't want to ruin or waste good paper. Then don't work on good paper. Work on cheap stuff until you feel confident enough to work. I'm working on, this paper is $19 a sheet. Now, mind you, this is like a third of the sheet. I've cut it. But, I would have been terrified before to use it. And
Mostly
now I'm
because of
like,
me.
well, I've if I mess up, I'm worried that I'm gonna get to the very last one. I'm gonna do like all of them and then just really mess up. But I know that if I really messed up, like here, I messed up on this wheel. I just did it on another piece of
Paper.
paper and pasted it down. I could do that, or I could take this is white acrylic wash. I could do it on another piece of paper and edit it in Photoshop. Like there's so many ways that I could fix it
Yeah.
and finish the piece, but I know that because I've
You've
had to
tried.
do that by messing up.
Yep. We are doing okay this morning, and I am able to have caffeinated tea again. Thank you. Yes, the steroids are finally out of my system. That was horrible. And I am feeling better, so thank you for asking, Ragdoll. I appreciate that. Let's see. It'll be fun creating stories for all of the characters. Usually we do the stories first and then go back and do the characters.
Yeah, I've had quite a few people ask me for Therians, which is essentially like a werewolf, and so I made sure to add one there. This one's going to be like a hobgoblin, but there's a dragonborn, so I'm going to try to have a very very diverse cast of characters, and I've got a whole list of characters and races and everything else, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's see. So many good comments this morning. Good morning, Pacer.
Hey, Pacer.
And Ellen's here. How you doing?
Hey, Ellen.
Who are all these characters? Well, this is the guild.
Yeah, I haven't come up with any names or anything like that for them yet. I just wanted to do something that felt like just all of the characters you would see in fantasy novels or Dungeons and Dragons or whatnot standing together, kind of almost like as if they were posing for something. Well, posing for me.
You're funny. Cosplay Mom says, you are so talented. I can't draw people very well with an unhappy face.
Oh, try. I wasn't very good at drawing places. And then I just grabbed a sketchbook and I just started to sketch wherever I was. And I got better at drawing places. But I got drawing better at places the way that I draw. The lines are wonky, everything's very messy. But it's my things, and I'm not scared of it anymore. I would say do the same thing with people. Just keep drawing them, and you will get better.
J. Robert Deans is here.
Hey, J. Robert Deans.
Scott, I found gold at my comic shop. One of your DS9 pencil covers.
Oh, wow.
That's a blast from the past. Zachy Boy says, I've been painting pictures with lots of green and blue, and I try to make different shades of them, but I just see the same colors. Any advice on making different shades of colors?
Okay, what was the first part about the shades of green and blue?
I've been making pictures with lots of green or blue, and I tried to make different shades of them, but I just see the same colors. Any advice on making different shades of colors?
Okay, but you're just so I understand, you work with only greens and blues, and you want to find different shades of greens and blues?
That is what it seems like.
That's what
yes.
it sounds like?
Yes. Hi, Ryan.
I don't know. It sounds like you're doing this for some specific reason. I would add whites or blacks to them and see what else you can get out of it. But honestly, there's so many colors in the rainbow. I don't know why you would limit yourself to just greens and blues. But if that's something that makes you happy, there are different types of greens and blues. This is teal, This is like ultramarine. This is like a sky blue. This is like a grass green, and then this is like well, it's just a darker green. Even Payne's gray is kind of a blue.
Okay, that doesn't look like a darker green.
It is. But what I'm saying is, like, you can go and buy different shades if that will help, rather than trying to blend them.
Okay, let's see. They would like to know what you're doing for the background. Several people would like to know.
I'm gonna have it just be a tavern. It's probably not gonna be this high, so it'll probably be about that tall.
Let's see.
So there'll be windows and rafters and whatnot. But my thinking is if you know, as a viewer, we're at kind of eye level, you know, we're not going to really see too much behind them.
Daniel has a big painting competition a month away and is already so nervous. What should they do?
I would get started on it. Have you selected what you're going to do? I would try to finish it early. That way you have time to sit back and look at it and see something wrong.
Let's see. These people go back. Leon says, if I have nothing else to watch, I will watch the playlist for the Studying the Masters. I love listening to your voice and just watching you make art.
Oh, that's great. There is a single video that has them all into one thing. And if you guys don't mind, the longer videos pay me, whereas the shorts don't.
Yeah. Let's see. Laura says, good evening from Romania
Oh, good evening.
and would like you to draw a Navi from Avatar because they've put this in the chat now 4 times. So clearly they really want you to do that.
I don't remember what a Navi was.
The blue people, dear.
You say it like what blue people?
Avatar.
I'm
The
sorry. I
James
was thinking
Cameron
Avatar,
not the last Airbender.
Sorry, when you
No,
say
no.
Avatar, I think the last Airbender.
I know.
And I'm like,
sorry about that.
I don't remember.
I should have said. How do you stop your hands from shaking when you get mad, and how do you stop yourself from tearing the paper apart?
I don't get mad.
He's not a mad. I'm the hothead,
and I'm
not him.
not a shaking hand kind of person when it comes to being mad. If I get mad, I'm mostly just disappointed or whatnot. But I think that's just something that hopefully time and therapy will help. If you're getting so mad that you're to the point to where you're shaking, that's really something that you should probably talk to someone about, because that's either you're dealing with some serious trauma, or your body's responding to things in ways that maybe, like I said, therapy or medication or something might be able to help. But no, I don't draw angry. I get angry at my drawings. You know, I get angry because things didn't go the way that they were supposed to, or I messed up, or, you know, sometimes stuff happens. But I've just learned to not take it so serious. We're not dealing with, we're not surgeons dealing with life and death. You know, we're artists. We're just making art. Art's important, but it is not the end of the world. If I was to just take this and just rip this in half right now, I could just start over. All I did was I just lost time, and I think artists, we have to come to terms with that and be okay with that. I think we put way too much value on the art that we make.
Louise has difficulties drawing from imagination. Do you have any tips?
I do too.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You know, I mean, all of these characters are based off of photo reference. So, you know, I'm right there with you.
Let's see. They're happy about the wheelchair representation.
Oh, good.
A lot of people seem like they're having some stress going on right
Yeah,
now.
what is going on, everybody?
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Why
Lots
so
of,
stressful?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of our friends are in school and they're
Oh, say no more.
they're having trouble balancing schoolwork and being able to have time for their art. And as a mom, I'm gonna mom you for a second, okay? Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to take a break from studying and draw something. Now, you would think as a mom, I wouldn't say this, right? However, it will lower your blood pressure, it will help you relax, and you will be able to focus more.
Yeah.
When you take time away, you cannot go, and focus all the time on something and expect it to sink in. It just doesn't. So every once in a while, give yourself a little break. And if you feel like you want to draw something, pull out a little journal, like Scott has his little sketch wallet. Pull out a little something, pencil and a piece of paper. Just be kind to yourself. You're working hard enough, and if that gives you a little bit of peace and a little bit of a break, then please do it.
And remember, school is stupid.
Scott Christian, Lord have mercy. You have the beginnings of a whole new world on that piece of paper, says Tracy Who.
Thank you.
Let's see. I'm going to butcher this name, but it says, hey, my name is Abhinav, and they're from India, and they're a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice to meet you.
Let's see. I have had art block for months and it's torture. I want to make art and be creative, but I have no idea what to paint. And before you say it, Donna, I am bad at drawing animals, so I can't paint a red panda. Why don't you
Someone has been on a live before.
Just a few times. Why don't you give Ocean something that they can draw?
I say again, to draw everything every day,
Mm-hmm.
keep a journal. Say, I went on the bus today, draw the bus. I went here, I drew that. And just fill your sketchbook. I'm telling you, you guys have seen if you haven't seen it, there's a video from a couple years ago where I just flipped through I think it's like a 2021 travel journal. Look at that. Just look at there's mundane stuff. I went here and I did this and I did that. Look at that and just see how my art improved while doing that, and I have memories in there. It's telling a story. I think, people think that you have to do a large piece and a large painting and it's got to have some sort of... There's no meaning to what I'm doing right now. I just wanted to draw some fantasy characters. That's it. I did a dragon and a centaur. I did a gothic vampire. There's no story behind it. There's no greater meaning or anything. It's just something for me.
There doesn't have to be.
That's what I'm saying,
There can be if you want there to be, but there doesn't have to be.
All right, I think I'm going to give this person...
and I think, too, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, it sounds like. A lot of you are lately.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be fun, guys. This isn't supposed to be stressful. This is a fun thing for you to do for yourself, Okay, the mods have answered this, but there's been so many people who've asked about your bracelets because that's all they're focusing on in the live today. Do you want to talk about your bracelets really quick, since no one's going to listen to our poor mods? We love you, mods.
There is a video. I made a video on it. But yes, these are bracelets that I've picked up when we've traveled. This one's from Venice, Italy. This one is from
the Hopi Nation.
The Hopi Nation. Yeah, we went to Utah. This one is from our anniversary for our 30th at Disney World. This one is from Valencia, Spain, and this one is from our 25th in Hawaii.
Okay. So now maybe you'll believe it because Scott said it, even though the mods already said it. Be nice to our mods. All right. I'm really not liking how many of you are depressed and stressed out today. I'm worried about you all. I'm not going to tell you not to be stressed because that's completely unrealistic because we're human. But take some time to do something nice for yourself. And when I say that, I don't mean like drop everything and run away from the world, even though, let's face it, sometimes we want to do that. I mean, it can be as simple as get yourself something to drink, a nice cup of tea or some ice water or your favorite soda or something, and go sit outside under a tree for 5 minutes or read a passage from your favorite book or light a smelly candle or draw something or give yourself 5 minutes, because I can feel it. It's palpable this morning, you guys. And we should not be like this. Life is to be enjoyed. What time is it? It's 9:28 a.m. We are Central Time here. Zach, I'm going to refer you to the playlist for the national animals, because you can, when Scott drew all the national animals, you can watch how he does fur and feathers and all sorts of different things. And that will help you with drawing animals.
And there's also a book,
Oh,
How to Draw
yeah.
Animals. If you go to our book recommendations
Yeah.
under resources on our website, you'll see.
Yeah, there you go. Lula says, I think it's just a very Monday-y Monday.
Yeah.
We all need some tea and a nap. She says, I need a nap. LOL. Girl, you're not kidding. You know, I actually slept for the first time last night in a long time. I actually got one good night's sleep. And yeah, it's crazy out there, guys. But we have to be nice to ourselves. I'm just throwing that out there because no one else will do that for us. Mom moment. Yes, I went all mom on you there. Do you have any specific kind of practice for improving lines?
Other than practice?
No, any specific
I know.
kind of practice.
Yeah, that's what I was say. Other than just doing it, no, I don't. I've found that copying other artists' line work has made me better. So if I like the line work of a certain comic book artist, I will copy that, and that will teach me. Mm-hmm. You know, that's basically it. Is just copying. Copying is the best thing for you to learn. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to move over to the dwarf in the front, because that is going to be something completely different.
Scott played D&D a long time ago.
I played it when it first came out. So
Yeah, we're old.
I was in junior high, and my friend Tim got it, and we played it.
Tim played D&D?
Oh yeah, we used to go over to his house and play.
Really? Now there's one I never would have thought was a D&D player.
Oh yeah.
Huh. He was a little nerd. I didn't see that one coming. Tazin says, I want to create an artwork where people from different cultures are together, but I don't know how to draw Arab, Indian, Egyptian type of fabrics. Any tips?
Google.
Oh my God, yeah.
You just Google. I don't know how to draw so many things. I Google it and then I copy it.
Yeah. You could find so many beautiful fabrics online. There are just lovely, lovely things. Will the halfling paper test drawing be for sale, or will you keep it?
Oh, no, you know what? Yeah, I scan them in. I've got both of those. I will give them to Bethany to upload. I still need to give her the...
Oh, you did not!
I just haven't...
Okay, I'm sorry the coloring page is not there. I am writing a note, coloring page and art to Bethany, and I will make sure that happens today. Can't leave you alone for 5 minutes, honestly.
Okay, I really need to pencil this dwarf.
Okay. Palash says, I love your art. Can you please do a video about the whole human anatomy? I'm going to go with no on that one.
The reason why she's saying no is because I'm
there's so much about anatomy. How would you even start?
I'm just not...
Don't we have a book up on human anatomy in the resources section?
I'm sure. I'm not what I would consider a teacher. like I wasn't great at anatomy classes and things like that.
Oh, my comment wasn't because of that. My comment was because there is way too much about human anatomy to even begin to do in a video. I mean, muscles and tendons and positions and
Yeah, and there
skin
are
and
some
hair
really
and
wonderful teachers
oh
who
yeah.
can do that for you.
Yeah. And if there's not, there might be some of the Skillshare things left. Check that. I don't know if if you guys used all 500 of them, but go to the Skillshare video and there might be some of those free classes you could sign up for. And I know there's anatomy classes in there.
All right, so for the dwarf, we're starting with the nose
Why on earth would you start with a nose?
because that's like 50% of their facial structure is their nose.
You know what? I am so glad you don't look at me and go, wow, honey, 50% of your facial structure is your nose. Okay, then. What's your least favorite question about your art from non-artists?
Least favorite question.
About your art from non-artists.
How much is it? How much, or can you, can you do a portrait of my kids or something
Oh,
like that?
God. They always want it for free. Any advice on how to improve my art skills while painting on jute or any type of coarse fabric?
Gosh, I would find cheaper fabric and practice on it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like what I'm doing right here isn't really going to transfer to drawing on fabric. You have to just practice with it.
I don't think you would be able to get this level of detail on a fabric like jute because it's so incredibly bumpy.
See, I don't even know what jute is.
It's like a woven mesh, like the rice bag.
Wow.
Yeah. There's no way to get this level of detail unless you're working so large and you're painting with something gloopy like acrylic. I would personally think. I'm going to defer to Bethany on that one since she's our canvas and oil painter, but I think that would be the only way to do that. Artie Plant says, I'm in college doing welding. Good for you. That's a great,
Nice.
that's a great skill. I work part-time. I have too many things going on and my parents are struggling to see that. Many times I've asked for help.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think maybe you need to sit them down and have an honest conversation and say, I'm struggling here. Can you please help me with X? And give them something specific because we are not mind readers. And
She's saying
if you
as a
just,
parent, not
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, as a parent, and you're in college, so they don't want to step on your toes. They don't want to overdo it. They don't want to treat you like a baby. But maybe if you sit down and say, hey guys, I'm struggling with finding time to eat. Could we maybe make a plan so that there's extra food in the refrigerator for me so I can take something with me? Like my son came home and I'm making food leftovers so he can take them for lunch so he doesn't have to worry about lunch.
Well,
Is there something they can do to help you?
An adult is learning how to communicate.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And a lot of adults don't know how to communicate. And so therefore they don't know how to get across what their needs are. And that happens a lot in relationships. It happens a lot in families where someone feels like they're communicating their needs, and the other persons are just ignoring it. And just speaking from experience, Donna, and we've had this thing where she feels like she's made it clear of something that she wants or something that she needs, and I didn't, quote unquote, pick up on the signals. And I've told her, after 35 years of being with her, I don't need signals, I need instructions. give me very clear instructions of what you need. And because I love you, I will fulfill those needs. And I think a lot of times as kids, we think that we're telling our parents what we need, but maybe what you're actually saying is, I just can't do this. And you know, it's like, I just can't right now. And that isn't enough information for a parent to say, you know, it needs to be
specific.
Yeah. Be as specific as possible. And if you need to,
Yeah.
write it down. Because I'm telling you, as someone who is autistic, for me, I find that I can't spontaneously be as eloquent as if I wrote it down and thought it out and worded it in the way that I think that a smart person who knows how to talk very, you know, like that's the kind of stuff that I'll do, and I'll word it out, and I'll get all of that together. And I think that is something that you can 100% work on.
I would agree with that statement. Be very specific on what you need. Very specific. And maybe you don't even know what you need, but maybe you need to think about what you need and then approach them with that. Let's see. I had some heavy stuff going on this morning. Scott, do you print your own prints or get them printed by a company? If you print them yourself, do you ever have problems with the colors being off?
No, I print them with a company. I go to printrunner.com, and for the most part, I've been very happy with what they do.
Colleen says, your kitchen sink gouache helped save my second watercolor portrait. Watercolor, tried gouache, colored pencils, dumpster fire. Used a wet brush to wipe off gouache and saved with pastels.
That's amazing.
Sometimes you do throw everything but the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hitomi says, I work from home in finance and I have my daily art journal by me at least once a day. I relax and enjoy drawing using pencil or ink. Watching Scott and Donna, I am learning to take time for me.
That's great.
I am so proud of you. That's huge. That's a huge thing. You know, I think when I used to work in an office like years ago, it's super easy for me now because obviously we work at home for ourselves, which is a whole nother animal. But if I would have taken the time to have a journal with me, that I could have taken a quick 10-minute coffee break and written something down or done something for myself, I think that would have helped me. I think that would have been a really good mental health break. But you got to know, like, when was I working in an office? 25 years ago?
Yeah.
That mental health really wasn't a big thing 25 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You know, it just wasn't. It was put your nose down, put your head down, and keep working and work until you're dead. That was the 90s and 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful it's not like that anymore. Yes, the wheel got redone off camera. Is it good to limit your art category in order to be skilled in that category, or is it good to try different types of art forms?
I think it's good to try different types of art forms. I think if you are trying to get a job in art, then yeah, you should limit to that specific job. But if you just are making art for you to make art, don't give yourself any limits.
Oh, Aniro sent you a tip. That's so sweet.
Thank you.
That was very nice of you. Oh, Froggo went to the art store and found a pen that they love and hope to begin using it soon. Good.
That's fantastic.
Bethany says, my daughter doesn't have school tomorrow and we are both taking a mental health day. We're both exhausted and need it. I wish people would do that. And I am so proud of you for taking that time. And I'm so glad. I know she needs a break. Bless her heart. She works so hard. I can't remember who on here, whose school gives them that mental health day. I know it's one of our friends gives them those mental health days. That is just so amazing to me that's a thing nowadays. And I mean, I really think it's so important to take care of yourself that way.
Yeah.
It's so like, okay, so on a personal note, I had a moment yesterday, right? Got in the car, went to Starbucks, got a decaf latte with caramel, which was really good. And I went and I sat at the park by myself for an hour. And I listened to kids play and I listened to the birds. Sometimes we all need a break.
Yeah.
And it is perfectly 100% okay to be human and need a break. It's okay. It's so okay. If you could time travel and go back to any time, where would you go?
If backwards is the only option, because I would go forward.
Of course you would.
I have no interest in the past. But if I had to go backwards, I don't know. I would maybe go back a few years and warn myself about some of the bad people we dealt with on Animal Crackers. That's about it. I wouldn't want to go any further past. There's no medicine, no,
Well, there'd be caveats for me. Like, am I going back to live there or am I going back to visit and do I get to leave anytime I want?
Yeah.
Because if I'm going back and I have a time machine and I can leave whenever the heck I want, then I want to go back and see some dinosaurs in real life because I think that would be cool. But only for like 5 minutes before I get eaten because let's face it, I'd be one of the ones that was like, oh my God, it's coming to get me. And then I'd be dead. Then I would want to go and I want to see Michelangelo paint the Sistine Chapel. I would love to see Caspar David Friedrich paint Wanderer Above a Sea of Fog. And then I want to meet Jane Austen.
All throughout history, there's going to be these stories of this weird woman who keeps popping into people's lives.
Correct.
And just going, I'm just here to watch you paint.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Correct. Yes. Don't let me stop you. I'm good. Go ahead. Oh, and I'd want to go back and see them build the pyramids. Would want to do that. And I'm not sure I would want to see. I'm not sure I would want to see the future. I think that might be too much information.
Yeah, no.
I do. I
I
think
would
that
want to live in the future.
for me, I think that might be too much information. I don't know. What if you go to a time where you're dead? And then all of a sudden you're back. Isn't that weird?
No.
Don't you freak people out?
You'd be dead if you go in the past.
No, I'm not dead. I'm just
You
not
just
born
hadn't
yet.
existed yet?
Exactly. Correct.
That's weirder. Not as weird?
No.
All right, I think this guy needs a shield on his back. What do you guys think?
Tracy, who says Mondays were always hard for me before I retired. Now they're enjoyable as Saturdays. Sorry for the brag, but I worked very hard to get here and I feel so fortunate. Well, I am excited for you that you get to enjoy being retired because that's awesome. And you have worked hard to get there. So you know what? Don't feel bad about it. Live it up. I think it's amazing. Letter ladies eat. The thing with being a mom is we can't turn off being a mom even when it isn't our kids. LOL. Have you noticed that this morning? Have you noticed that? Oh, Margaret McKinnis says, thank you both and the moderators for making our Monday morning better and beautiful from the north. Aw. Well, thanks for being here. We wouldn't have anything to do if it wasn't for you guys. We love getting up and being with you. It would be sad.
My dilemma is, he has a shield, but he has a two-handed weapon.
Okay.
He can't do both.
Oh. Well, when the two-handed weapon gets knocked out of his hand, then he grabs the shield. Then he's in trouble. Until then, he doesn't need the shield. That would be my theory. But hey, who the heck am I?
You know what? Maybe a backpack is just better. Maybe it's just smarter. He just likes to carry rations and stuff.
That would make sense. And a very large tankard for mead. He needs somewhere to put that, because, and all the loot he's going to pillage from people. Let's see.
Give him an old saddleback leather bag.
Janeni says, thanks for being a positive force in the world. Do you have any advice for someone who would love to be an illustrator, but already in their late 30s with no connections to the art world at all?
My best advice is to illustrate. Do the things that you would want to do and get good at them. No one's going to care what your age is. If you are able to do let's say you want to be a children's book illustrator, right? Mm-hmm. No one's going to go, you're how old? Oh no, it's not sports, so you could be 90 years old, and if you're putting out some good content, there's going to be publishers who are going to want your stuff. So don't let your age, which by the way, did they say 30?
I think so.
30 is not old.
Yeah. You're a baby.
Yeah. Don't let your age stop you.
Yeah.
You are 100% at a fantastic. I didn't do Spider-Man until I was 32 or 33.
32. Yeah. Right before the boys.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, Marv just turned in a draft for a DC Comics series.
Yeah.
Marv Wolfman.
DC's been good to him.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is Marv's almost 80.
Yeah.
Hello, people. I mean, and Grandma Moses didn't start painting till her 70s.
Yeah.
So there's no time frame for art. You're not running a marathon. You're painting.
But the
drawing.
only way to find out if that's something that you can do is to do it. That's the only way. And then you go ahead and worry about whether someone's going to hire you, but do the thing first.
Touche. Excuse me. Where are we? Okay. The retorted gamer says, I want to draw all the time, just throughout the day, but I never know what. What should I draw when I just want to draw, if this makes sense?
Draw the world around you. Look at the Draw Everything Every Day video. You got to draw the world around you, and don't just draw out of your head. By drawing the world around you, you're going to get better at drawing what you see. And the more you can do that, the more you'll be able to draw stuff out of your head.
Yeah.
And also, then you just don't have to worry about what to draw. Draw a salt shaker, draw a boot, draw anything.
Yeah, if you're stuck sitting in a cubicle, draw the chair in front of you. Draw the computer. Draw stuff on your desk. Draw the pencil. Draw the stapler. What is a prompt list?
From what I understand, it's a list of ideas and suggestions on what to paint or draw. People use those all the time.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Let's see.
This little guy is coming out okay, I guess. I like his proportions.
Where are we? Yeah, they think a backpack is definitely better. Do you think hand-eye coordination is important in making art?
A little bit, not speed reflex kind of thing, but you are training your hand and your eyes to work together. That's just how it works, and I think it's just one of those things where. That's why I say to draw everything every day. If you're just drawing out of your head, you're always just looking down at the paper. You're not looking at anything. But when you're drawing what you see, you're constantly looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down. And you get really good at that hand-eye coordination.
Donna pulling a bad wolf. You guys are funny. I do have an itinerary. I have a full-on itinerary of where I'd like to go. But just tell me that you guys haven't thought about where you would go if you could go back in the past and meet somebody. I mean, come on.
I haven't.
I have. I think it would be really cool. Oh, God. Bethany says, I would want to go back to when my daughter was a newborn and hold her again without the fog of exhaustion. No. I would not go back. I'm not one of those moms that would ever go back
But
to
there's
like.
nothing wrong.
No,
with
there's
it.
nothing.
Well, then
I was just
let poor Bethany
you're
have
right. You're right.
her
You're right. I apologize.
thing.
You're right. You're right. I just immediately thought of being completely exhausted with like 2 babies screaming and going.
That's why she was saying without the fog of exhaustion.
Yeah, I get it. No, not for me. You go, girl. Not for me. No.
Jeez.
No. You're right. I apologize. You're right. Any tips on colored pens you can activate with water? I got gifted a huge amount of Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer pencils, and I'm slightly in a panic that I'm going to ruin them.
Oh, I did a video on them. I have the Winsor & Newton ones. There's a short on the watercolor pencils and markers if you want to look at it. But I personally didn't love them. I know you got them as a gift, so it's not your fault. But the thing is that they're you can't ruin anything. Get some good watercolor paper and have some fun. What I found was where you put the mark down, it kind of leaves a mark. You really kind of have to hit it quickly with some water. But I would just play. You got them, play with them, have fun with them. Use them and use them up so that way there's no more of it left. And then if you like them still, buy more. But you are under no obligation to love them. You're under no obligation to use them. But I would say don't just let them sit, and don't ever let fear keep you from making art or playing around.
I think a lot of people have that fear, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to ruin a notebook, ruin a piece of paper, I mean, guys, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You know?
Yeah.
I mean...
It is much more worth it to have the experience and use something than it is to just hold on to something.
What is the most important thing your partner does to make you feel loved? Be nice.
I was going to say, she does a lot to make me feel loved. But we went to San Jose to go visit our moms. And I was just having a really rough flight, panic attacks and whatnot. And she just held my hand. And sometimes that's just all you need.
Yeah. I think the single best part about having a partner, and I'll say this because, God, we've been together forever and a day, a long-term partner is being able to reach over and hold that person's hand and just know that they're there. I mean, we went on a couple of really long drives while we were out there, and sometimes we don't have to talk. We just sit there in the car, appreciate where we're going, and we just hold hands, and that's it. And there's just a comfort in that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah. When our mods say Scott doesn't plan 6 months out, guys, he barely plans in the morning. Oh, Arun says, I hope Scott does these drawing sessions often because these live streams remind me to draw.
Oh, that's great. I'm enjoying this. Obviously it's going to be a few weeks until I'm going to be doing watercolor again, unless you guys saw me go live with Kim Diaz Home.
Yeah, I painted his nails. Did you guys see that? Of course, keep in mind, right after the live, there was no more nail polish on.
Yeah, the nail polish is gone.
Nope. He made me take it off. He had, I'll just tell you this, you have the best nails to paint. Oh my God. Big, wide, flat canvases. Seriously, they were beautiful. The polish went on so smooth.
All right.
Let's see. Caroline says, I'm a mom of littles and I found it hard to find time to really dive into my art anymore. Oh, honey, you're in the trenches.
Yeah.
You are in the trenches.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Please, because this is the time. Speaking as parents of twin 21-year-olds.
Yeah, grown-ups.
You miss this time and you don't want to look back. Like, I have no regrets about any of the time that I spent with the kids. I was not as productive as an artist when they were little. And Donna had to go back to work. And but we know that we spent all of our waking moments with them. And whenever they needed anything, I was always there with a smile, and whatever they needed.
And even when I did go back to work, I would use my lunch breaks to go and do classroom parties. And as they grew up, like getting to be there for all of the things, I don't regret 1 minute of that.
Yeah.
Not one. Now I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say that does not mean you should lose yourself in that mix. If you can carve out 5 minutes for yourself after they go to sleep, or maybe a couple times a week, your partner could watch them and you could have 30 minutes of time to yourself. Somewhere in there. And I know it's hard because littles always want mom. I get that. But you deserve some time for yourself also. So I'm not going to tell you to be completely selfless and give up everything, because that makes mom a very unhappy person.
From an art point of view, your art is not going to suffer because you were spending time with your kids. I took 10 years off.
Yeah, you did. And that wasn't even kid related.
Well, it wasn't kid related, but it was during, when we had the kids. I was doing the Dreamland Chronicles and all those other books, but I wasn't doing...
No, but you mostly took the time off because you changed mediums.
Yeah, but I'm saying is, but I took 10 years off, and I came back, and I think I'm a better artist for it.
I think it's different for moms, though, than it is for dads.
I'm not talking about mom and dad. I'm talking about artists.
Yeah, I know, but a mom artist is different than a dad artist.
That makes no sense.
It does make sense, and it does. Kids, little kids, always want mom, and so I think
didn't say they didn't want their mom.
No,
I'm saying
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying
I don't think you do.
I do.
What I'm saying is that whatever time that she puts into it will be worth it. And when she comes back, when she has the time to make art, her art won't have suffered that much from it.
I understand. And I'm still telling her that I think she should take some time for herself
But that's
every
you're
week.
talking about taking time for herself, for personally, and I think that's
Yes.
great advice.
Yeah.
That's completely different than what I'm talking about, though.
Okay.
So
I'll let you be wrong.
you have your advice, and I'll have my advice.
Okay. And my advice
Mine
is
is
more
right,
right.
and yours is wrong.
Sure it is. Okay. Gail says, I totally feel that, Scott. My fingernails feel heavy somehow if I put polish on them.
Yeah.
I don't even notice it. Yeah. Ellen was going to ask if your fingers felt too heavy. Yeah, the polish was gone like Saturday after the live. Ivy says, hearing you always say that my art doesn't have to be a masterpiece has been so encouraging, and I remember that every time I draw.
Oh, that's great.
Harley says, weird question, and I'm not even sure you'll remember this, but when you first talked to Donna, were you nervous?
No, because I don't think I was talking to her as I was approaching her or anything like that. It wasn't like I'm going to ask her for a date. We were working together.
Yeah.
And I think it was our friend Patty who introduced us or something, but she was just working in the department next to us. So it was really just kind of pleasantries.
Well, I don't know if it was pleasantries for you, but I noticed you right away because you were a little hottie.
You're weird.
You were awfully cute. Now you're just old. Ryan says, art is one of the mediums where it's totally acceptable to relive your childhood regardless of what age you are.
Yeah.
Since Donna is giving motherly advice, how do I, 23, get out and meet people and make friends with no social skills? Well, Zero, would like to know what you like to do. Do you like to paint? Do you like to read? Do you like to... There are ways to meet people. There are like book clubs and painting groups, and you don't have to have a ton of social skills to meet people, but if you want to make friends, you will have to learn to put yourself out there. So an environment that would make you comfortable first and foremost, like say you love to read, you could go to the library and go to a book club at the library. Join something like that that would make you feel comfortable.
Yeah. That's how Donna and I met, was work. So it wasn't
we did.
like, hey, I've never met, I never even had a conversation with a woman at a bar ever.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Well, you're a woman. It's different. But it's just
How is it different because I'm a woman?
because guys will come up to you, whereas if you're a guy, you're the one who kind of has. This was 1987, 88, whatever it is. You had to do the
That's true. It was more difficult back then.
the pickup line and all. It just wasn't me.
You're not a pickup line kind of guy. You're just not a pickup line kind of guy. That's so funny.
But I would recommend getting involved, like Donna was saying, with some sort of, whether it's a job or
A club.
a club or
a
a function or
group.
whatever, yeah, where there are going to be people of the gender that you are attracted to, and
You'll meet
be
people.
yourself.
Yeah. You don't have to be the most social person, but you will have to talk to people. If you want to make friends, you need to make the effort. And it is an effort. But, the older we get, the smaller our circle is, to be perfectly honest, because there are just people who come in for a season and but the people who stick around are worth it. So, how do you get the correct references for those poses of the people?
Oh, I actually purchased them from a website called ArtStation, and there's a video on that, and there there is a link on our art channel, on our website. But yeah, I that's always been the hardest thing, is finding photo reference for me. I used to take my own photo reference when I was younger. Donna would pose for me, and now you can just buy that stuff, and it's like it's anywhere from $5 to $8. You can get like 400 photos of a character in all these different poses and stuff like that. And so
You can buy it until you're working on a gothic vampire and you need the hands in a specific position.
yeah,
And then you call your wife down. Honey, do this. I need to sketch your hands. Would you mind showing us how long this paper is? Just curious.
yeah. Hold on.
So long. The paper is so long. Oh, I can do it. I know where it is. It's this one.
Yeah.
And then I do 90.
Yeah.
Ha! I know how to manipulate the camera.
Can you see the whole thing?
No, it hasn't moved yet over here.
You can just look on that thing.
Yeah, this one's all in the
That's all
frame.
you use now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for the actual camera, it hasn't moved yet. There it is.
So yeah. So this is 30 inches.
It's very long.
And like I said, I don't think I'm going to use all of this height. I didn't know how big the characters were going to be able to fit. So I would have liked it if they were this big, but then the page would have had to have been much bigger. But I think I'm getting okay with this. These are very fine lines. I'm using a lot more of the micron than I had planned on.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Is that the 005 micron?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how you even see the end of that. That reminds me of that paintbrush Bethany showed me at Plaza.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I couldn't even see
Can
the
you put it
bristles.
back?
I can put it back. We're going back to 65. And we're going to put this down. Okay. Now you have to move it because, oh no, you're still going to do that. So we're okay.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're all right now. I know how to put it back.
Oops, wrong pen.
I can't handle that 005 micron. That is so small. Wow, that's really long. Aw, thanks, One Up Girl. She's like, good job, Donna. See, I know how to manipulate the camera. Do you think artists will get replaced fully by AI? That is a slippery slope question.
When you say replaced, let's do this. There's no AI that can keep you from making art, right? So no, artists or AI, nothing can replace you from enjoying the process of making art. Is something we should be doing because we love doing it. Now, is it going to replace jobs? Yes, because corporations
Suck.
the corporations are evil, and they care only about profits. And which, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys have heard, but there's a boycott of Kellogg going on right now.
Is there really?
Yeah,
because of what he said,
because
right?
of what that. So don't buy Kellogg's for the foreseeable future. But the point is that, if you're looking to get a job in art, yeah, it's going to be harder. It is. But that's the world we live in. Mm-hmm. Make art for you.
Yeah, Zivri says, keep in mind that AI is a ripoff of the good artists of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There are 37 characters that will be in this piece. He counted last week. Ellen wants to know, what type of boards do you use for taping your paper down?
They're just, I don't know what the names of them are, but I got them from Michael's.
Mm-hmm. Don't they have metal on the side of them, or is it just...
Yeah, there's metal on two sides.
Yeah. They're large art boards, and you know what? We'll find a link and we'll put it in the store. Let me write that down.
They're really helpful because I can move it so my art isn't taped down to the table, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah. I actually have one for my paint by number that you used, and we stuck the pins in, and we pinned the canvas down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Artboard links for resources page. Okay. There we go.
Who doesn't love doing hair?
You don't care what kind of hair it is. It's a beard, honey. That is you're so funny. A month ago, we were having a science talk in our class. While suddenly talk about LGBTQ came in, my teacher was truly opposing it. She believes that it is wrong, but I felt that her thoughts were wrong.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be talking about that in the classroom.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah.
The teacher's religious thoughts shouldn't be coming into play in a public school.
Well, that's provided they're in a public school. If
Yeah.
they're in a private school, that's a different situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to ignore people who are ignorant, shall we say. Is it better to draw in pages or in sketchbooks?
Doesn't a sketchbook have pages?
I think they mean individual pieces of paper as opposed to a sketchbook that's bound together.
Oh, there's no better. I think if I like sketchbooks because you can kind of look back on your art. But I think if I use sketchbooks, I mean, you guys see me work in sketchbooks all the time, whether it's the hair journal or the 30 days of studying the animals or whatever, those are sketchbooks. I do that for practice. And then if something turns out that I really like it and I want to frame it, you can't. If like the hair journal pieces, I can't because there's a painting on each side. So really, you work in sketchbooks until you decide you want to do a larger piece, and that's when you do that. But there's no better for one or the other.
Sketchbooks are easier to take with you than individual sheets of paper, too. Are the lights different today? Because Scott's hand looks brighter than usual, I think.
I think we might be just getting some natural light in here.
Yeah, we finally are having a sunny day outside.
Yeah.
It's been cloudy for like days and days and rainy and yucky. So we probably are getting some extra natural light in there today. Let's see. I feel like AI can't replace all forms of art, and it can't replace the people who value original art.
No, but look, you guys heard about NFTs, right? So I mean, there are people who will buy the ugliest things digitally that were done digitally by AI, and they will spend a lot of money on it because there's no accounting for taste. And I think you as artists, we have to remember that there is no accounting for taste. You can't do anything about people's lack of, they're going to go, I think AI art is the best thing ever. And there's going to be a large group of people who are going to think that, let me put it this way. The majority of young people or newbies, we'll say, think that realism is the pinnacle of art.
Oh God, that cracks me up.
You understand?
Yeah.
They look at people who draw photorealistically and they go, that is the best art. I was doing that stuff in high school. Most of us were. Yeah. It takes nothing to copy a photograph. A camera does that. Our phones do that. Can copy an image photographically. So again, that is the easiest thing to do, is to copy a photograph. It's the creation of art. People are going to see AI art and go, wow, it looks so realistic. And to them, that is all they need to know. That is going to be their art.
I have said it before, I will say it again. AI should be used to replace the executives, not the creatives. Because the executives don't know what's good anyway. And trust me on this one. This one I know from practical experience. So, there you go. Good morning from India.
Good morning.
Oh, guys, how many times do you ask us for the best this, the best that, the best this, the best that? And y'all crack me up. Dragisa asks, what is the best sketchbook shape? The shape that makes you the most happy to draw in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there
Straight
is no best.
No.
There is, what makes you happy.
Correct.
I like a 6x9. But everybody is different.
Yep. Which is why when you go into the art store, they make 900 million different kinds of books. They make different kinds of paints. They make different kinds of paint brushes, pencils, pens, inks. That's why there's all the different mediums in art. Whatever makes you the most happy is what you should use.
Some people like working in watercolors. Some people like working in oils. Some people like drawing people. Some people like drawing places.
Some people like fiber arts or pottery or clay or sculpture or, I mean, Hitomi says, Donna, I agree. And I know what I'm talking about after 35 years working in C-suites. They are such a waste of oxygen sometimes. They really are. Occasionally, there's one or two in the C-suite that have a brain, but 99% of the time they're sycophants and they're useless.
What the heck is a C-suite?
It's the most upper level of management. CEO, CFO, CTO, C-suite. Yeah.
They've okay.
Again, why my husband does not work in the business industry. I
genuinely thought it was something to do with candy.
God. Yeah. Have you ever played Link's Awakening? We're going to ignore him on that one. It's fine.
Link's Awakening.
Wait,
was that
isn't
on the
Link
Nintendo?
the one from...
Yeah, was it on the N64? I don't think so, no.
But Link is the character from Zelda, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Lo says, one of my teachers actually talked about LGBT and why it was not a bad thing, and I was so happy. He is pretty old, but he accepts everyone, and he is so nice. Now that, my friend, is a supportive teacher. Right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can you go and paint downtown in your travel journal, please? Of course he can.
Yeah, and there's videos on it.
Mm-hmm. Placo says, I want to make a book for my grandpa because he was an amazing artist and loved drawing cowboys. So I want to make a book about cowboys, but drawing folds of clothes can be confusing. Do you have any tips?
Photo reference. Yeah, definitely use photo reference. Find photos that you can copy. Don't try to just make that stuff up out of your head. You get extra points if you could find photos of your grandpa.
Oh, as a cowboy.
Yeah.
So funny. Is there a Hobbit in this drawing?
Yes, there are going to be halflings here. Somewhere around here, drinking and making merry.
I don't even know how to answer this question. What is the best air pressure for the room to draw in?
Oh, gosh. That's a great question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is...
I love how Nixia says, the best is a matter of opinion. And that is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredibly subjective and a matter of opinion. How do I balance studying art and having fun in art?
Oh, gosh. I will say I was horrible at this. And I think you can say when you're in school, it's better to take the time to study art. Enjoying art can come later. If you can do both, fantastic. But I think you're only in school for 4 short years. Just take it all in. Do all the assignments. This is what I didn't do. And I think my art suffered from it.
You do. Now you do?
What?
You feel like your art suffered because you didn't put enough into it in school?
Yeah, yeah.
I hope that some of you will take the things that we say and just think about them from our life experience, because we've got so many years behind us now that when we say these things, we're not telling you what to do. We're giving you our experience and sharing things that we would have done differently or would have appreciated doing differently. And I know, that's not here nor there for everybody, but, looking back, hopefully it'll help somebody. This person would like to know, Scott does not work on comics currently, why a comic artist still draw pages traditionally when you can do it digitally.
They don't. There are some who still do, but the majority of them work digitally. Most comic book artists I still know, the exception of people like, say, Frank Cho or whatnot, work digitally, and it makes them work faster, and I don't know if it makes their art better, but your job is to meet a deadline, and that 100% helps you meet your deadlines.
Marilise asks, it's a DIY question, is using hot glue to bind a pile of watercolor paper, would that work as well as a watercolor pad?
I've never done that before. I would never make my own watercolor pad. I would never make my own watercolor paper. I would never make my own watercolors. With as cheap as things are today,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, because unless you're doing it because you like the process of making them, I wouldn't do it. You can buy a watercolor pad from Grabby with those, like for $5-6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would
Hot
you?
glue is going to bind to the paper also. Hot glue isn't made for that. You're not going to be able to unstick the watercolor paper. It's not going to work like, I know what you're thinking, that it's going to work like a watercolor block, but it's not. It's not going to wind up being like that at all. I don't recommend it. And I've used a lot of hot glue in my day, and I would not do it. And Santa says, Happy Monday.
Hey,
everyone.
happy Monday, Santa. What time is it?
10:25. You have 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we got a pretty good amount done.
Splunge says, I hated my art history class back in the day, but now I find I love watching YouTube videos on art history.
Yeah.
We had that same, Scott never liked art history, always fell asleep. But we
really
loved
liked 60
days of studying the
studying
masters.
masters,
Yeah. I wish we could do that again. That was my favorite series.
If I can get enough people to watch my long videos, I absolutely can. Just right now we're only getting like 15,000 views.
I don't even. How can I make my digital printed art shine like glass? Many people use resin, but that's for acrylic canvas. Any tips for the printed ones?
I don't know. We don't print our art. Not personally. We have our art sent out.
Yeah. How do I start out in perspective?
I did a short on that. Maybe the mods can send it your way, but I do everything where I look at the world. I break it down to Legos. Simple shapes.
Do you like Kim Jong-gi?
Yeah. I have one of his books. He did a little drawing for me.
Let's see. I think the important thing, you guys always ask for like the best this or the best that. There's a lot of different types of things out there. And I would suggest, and I know Scott would too, go to your art store and talk to people and feel the paper and look at the supplies and look at the different things that are out there. And maybe you can't afford the best of the best stuff right now, but just look, make a note to yourself, put it on your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I have some extra money, I want to buy this paper, or I'd really like to try this paintbrush, or something like that. So you have things to look forward to, but the best is subjective, guys. It's going to be what you like the best. And I'm going to throw Bethany under the bus with this one. And I love you. She's doing this one painting right now that I know that she's working on. And she was going to do it in one medium. And she's going through it. And she's talking to me about how it's not working. But in her head, she's working on something else. So she's going to switch mediums and work in a different medium. Because it makes her happy. Because she sees the painting coming together.
I'm still waiting for you to throw her under a bus.
Better. Well, I'm just using her as an example. That was
come on.
the bus part.
I told her not to. That's the most boring throw someone under the bus I've ever heard. I told her not to switch
mediums because I was worried it wasn't going to dry in time.
I'm going to throw Bethany under the bus.
Yeah.
She's great.
Okay, well, she says she's used to being under the bus. It's okay. Okay, well, that's my bus throw for the day. But don't beat yourself up for mediums or notebooks or pick something, guys. Just don't. Were you too scared about twins or were you just terrified?
Yeah.
Terrified. What, are you kidding? You're supposed to have one kid at a time.
Well, we were scared about having just a kid.
Any kid.
Yeah. I mean, having kids is scary.
Yeah, it is. I remember driving home from the hospital and saying to Scott, they gave us these things.
Yeah.
And they're letting us drive them home from the hospital.
I can't believe they're trusting us with these things.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. They're trusting us with these things, these humans. Yeah. So Santa says only Scott roots for the bus. Let's see. So it's 10:30.
All right, everybody. I will finish up our little dwarf.
Yeah. Please do.
Later.
I'd be sad if he didn't have feet and legs. I made crumb cake yesterday. Guess what I'm having for breakfast?
You already had it.
No, I only ate half. I had to take my antibiotic. I got another I don't know how many days.
Well, we're getting there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters.
Yeah. Out of 37, so we have 29 to go. Woohoo! How's that for deflating you? You should see his face. Any tips for drawing while traveling? And then I'll let you go.
Take a photograph before you start, because you might have to leave. The weather might change. People might move. Whatever it is. So take a photograph before you even draw.
Yeah.
I always take a photograph now. Just take a pic, and then you're good. And then if you need to, you finish up back at the hotel room. There's no shame in that. I finish some when I get home at the Hobbit hole. It's still a sketch.
And you still traveled when you started.
There's no laws to finishing a sketch when you're, on location.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I'm going to be making another video.
He is indeed.
So look for that. Probably in the next 10 hours. It's going to take me that long. But yes.
But you're going to send the coloring page and the art to Bethany.
Yes. And so we'll post the
coloring page
the two
today.
Characters up and probably David from Lost Boys. I'll send that to her as well.
All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a marvelous Monday. Thanks for being here. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.